Welcome. We are here for Roster of the People Week 8. Should be no surprise. Neil, Jason, here to answer any questions you guys might have, hoping for the best, because, man, this week has already been weird. Evans just breaking hearts and making things. This is my first time getting to talk about it. It's just tough.
That is not how you preface that. What are you, me? Like breaking hearts in his collarbone. Like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, good Lord, man. Like, my God.
That's how it goes. It's all good.
The man's career's probably over and making jokes.
Yeah, it's tough. That was a tough one to watch. Feel bad for him. The time has really just done it. I was hoping for another 1,000-yard season. I wanted to see him do it. Guy deserves it. He's been a beast for you year in and year out. Even with all the broken bones, every injury he's had, it's just been insane. But it's definitely not what you expect.
It's not the ending. Well, it's not officially the ending. I say that like I know. It's not officially the ending. It would stun me tremendously if this wasn't the ending. Like, a lot of people kind of drawn the conclusion that this was his last year anyway, and that's probably where this ends. And it sucks that this is the ending, but he'll certainly be going to Canton, right? So it won't be the last we hear of and see him around. I think the days of him playing professional football are probably over at this point, which is a shame. Not how you wanted it to go. You were hoping that he'd be able to play one more full season, get 1,000 yards, go to the playoffs. Whether they win anything or not is sort of besides the point as far as he's concerned. But yeah, it's a shame. But yeah, he's officially, like, he's going to have surgery. They're saying there's a slim chance he might get back before the end of the year, but in all honesty, for a broken collarbone, given what we know, by the time that he gets to that point, you're probably talking about like the actual NFL playoffs if the Bucs are still around. So I wouldn't count on anything from Mike Evans for fantasy for the regular season. Speaking of which, Jason, do you know where we are here? Because it's one of the things I wanted to bring up. Do you know where we are? Where are we in the timeline?
Halfway?
We are halfway. We are officially halfway, because I see Daniel asking, is the season over yet? We are halfway officially through the fantasy regular season as of the conclusion to Monday night's games. We are halfway home. So it changes the advice that we tend to give to people, because obviously if you're 6-1 or 5-2, at this point, your team is probably pretty good, and if you can avoid injuries, you're likely on track to make the playoffs. So you want to start thinking about that as you get into the back half of the season. You want to start thinking about, maybe do I look at holding a second defense, right? Do I want to start looking at getting my handcuffs now? Do I want to start looking at buys? Like, what's my bye week situation look like? And you actually probably want to go through your opponents on the schedule for the second half of the year and figure out, like, okay, how many good teams do I have to play? How many? Because by now we kind of know. And then to anybody on the other side, if you're 4-3, 3-4, tweak as necessary, right? It's tweak as necessary, and start thinking about that type of work, right? Maybe if I'm 3-4, do I need to make that move that gets me over the hump? If I'm 4-3, do I need to make that move to kind of same thing, get me over the hump, maybe just a smaller hump? And if you're 2-5 or 1-6, as we've had several roster resolutions that we've been through with teams like that over the last couple of weeks, we never want to say panic. You don't panic. Panicking is always bad. Panicking's a bad plan. But however, it is time to take a critical look at what's going on and start making moves. It is officially that time of the year. If you're 2-5, if you're 1-6, you've got either one loss or if you're 1-6, no losses to give down the back straight. So you're out of time to wait for good things to happen. It's now time to start packaging up probably the broken toys, if we're honest, because that's probably why you're in that situation, and start looking for trade partners to get pieces that can win now to try and salvage the season, because you're basically on borrowed time. And then so that's just where we are, just a general state of the union around that. And then it's either Nays or Nazi, I'm not entirely sure which. Asked, is Mike Evans worth keeping? Do we think he'll be back in time for the playoffs? We just kind of covered that a second ago. Probably not.
Highly
More
unlikely.
than likely. If you have an IR slot that you can hold on to him for a little while, go ahead. But more than likely, by the time he's back, you're looking at the actual NFL playoffs more so than the fantasy playoffs. So I would not be holding out a great deal of hope that Evans is going to get back to help you for fantasy purposes. He might be able to get back to help the Bucks for real football purposes, but even that is not a guarantee.
Yeah, and again, you're kind of so. This is a good example. Also, this week there are 6 buys. You won't have Lions, Raiders, Rams, Cardinals, Seahawks, or Jaguars this week.
This is Bipocalypse 1.
Yeah.
We get 2 now because of the unique way the NFL schedule is worked out at this current timeline that we live in.
Well, I guess there's actually 2 more that are, but they're 4-piece. So this next week, I mean, honestly, from here on out, you pretty much have 4. So next week, not as.
Oh, you're right. No, I'm double checking that. You're correct. This is Bipocalypse.
Yeah, this is it.
There's only one. This is the Bipocalypse. This is the Bipocalypse week 8. So there you go. And you mentioned it. No Cardinals, no Lions, no Jags, no Raiders, no Rams, no Seahawks.
Yeah, so quite a few teams that you're going to be short. The next one's kind of, I guess, week 10, where you won't have your Bengals, Cowboys, Chiefs. That hurts.
Yeah, but it's only 4. So it's like that's worse, but
yeah,
all the rest of them are only 4. So it's from not week 9 through week 14. It's 4 except for week 11 where it's 2
and 13.
And I would have to believe, and then 13 is none because I believe week 13 is Thanksgiving, right?
Probably.
So they need to figure out how to get all the games in, which is why the Bipocalypse thing happens. By the way, folks, the 2 extra teams get an early bye, air quotes, because they need to have all the teams in circulation for Thanksgiving weekend because they literally play football from Thursday to Monday. So that's the reason for why they've adjusted it, but doesn't make it any more fun. So yeah, if you've got Marvin Harrison Jr., all the Lions, the 3 main Lions, what's left of Jacksonville, Genty,
JSN,
Adams and Kyron Williams, and then JSN, you're going to need options this week. So get those questions in because we'll talk you through. Also, go check out yesterday's waiver wire show because I'm sure there were good nuggets on there about who to pick up. But we'll cover that here in terms of replacements for this week because I assume that'll be the main topic, right? For just this week.
All right. So I'm
and then Daniel and real quick, Daniel, hey Glitchy, and hey Polo, how you guys doing tonight?
Hey.
Go ahead, ask your question.
So I'm gonna ask because I've seen it a few times today. Gadsden or Taylor is a common tight end question I've had all day today. I've probably seen it 15, 20 times.
It's Gadsden.
Okay, I figured, but that's what I've been going with as well.
Because I know who's playing quarterback.
Yeah, that's part of it too.
That's the biggest thing that's holding back Mason Taylor is we don't know who's going to be playing quarterback for the Jets, and the best case scenario is that it's Tyrod Taylor at this point, which is not really right. Who has a knee injury? That's why I'm saying we don't know. We've got one quarterback that was openly trashed in the media by his coach and the owner of the team, which is super professional, by the way. Gotta love when a guy says I'm not going to comment and then proceeds to just comment anyway and trash his starting quarterback. So that's fun. And then Tyrod Taylor is nursing a knee injury already. Poor guy can't catch a break historically and presently. So what you're really hoping for if you're hoping for Jets pieces is that they like bring in a quarterback from outside, but your options on that are really terrible. So And given their record, I don't really see why you would. You know, like what would be the point of
Yeah.
bringing in an outside person when you're already functionally eliminated from any kind of postseason activity? I guess maybe, you can go get like you could use this time to evaluate a young kid, because I think we've kind of figured out at this point, like we know Tyrod Taylor is nobody's answer to anything long term. And unless the question was, who is my backup quarterback? And the other thing that's going on is I think we've just kind of seen the end of. I think we're seeing the end of the Justin Fields starting quarterback movie that we've been watching for a long time, because I just can't imagine that any NFL team would give Justin Fields another opportunity, right? Considering he's 26 at this point. Like, he's
Yeah.
26 years old.
I don't know.
He's
I'd
flamed
be
out
very
more than
curious to
once.
see him behind a good line. That's also
Well, he's
something.
never had that.
Correct.
He's never had
I'm like,
that in
it's
his
one thing I
career.
would
So,
really like to see because I just don't know.
but what team with a good line would
Want him?
care? Yeah, at this point, like he's kind of damaged goods at this point.
Yeah.
So, I think he'll continue to play in the NFL because he's 26, and that sounds old, but it's not for a quarterback. So,
I mean, last Thursday's game was 2 4-year-olds, so
yeah, so he'll be around. It's just I think the days of him being brought in to be the starter are done. Like he'll probably get another job, but it'll be similar to that Steelers job he had for a while, where he can be the backup. They'll make a wildcat package for him. But the days of you being of being anybody's de facto starter in this league, I think, are done. Unless he wants to go to Canada and try to win a Grey Cup and then come back.
yeah.
And even that.
All right, Glitchy's got a question for us. One running back, Scatterboo or White? Ooh,
Well, they ruled out Bucky today,
yeah, way early.
so that does complicate things slightly. I can't even say I'm super surprised.
Bye's coming up next week. Not worth it.
But they're playing New Orleans. I'm gonna go with White, despite the fact that probably won't be a popular answer, considering he upset some people last week. But I don't chalk that up to White. I chalk that up to the fact that nothing went right for Tampa in that game.
Yeah.
And New Orleans is a much easier test.
Yeah, I agree. It's White for me. And then 2 wide receivers: Flowers, Allen, Wandale, Booty, Addison. Well, definitely Addison.
Yeah, just because they've already said we don't have to play that game this week. They've already said it's going to be Wentz. So it'll be Addison and
Allen.
No, I'm not sure about that. I got Allen at 21. A second here.
Flowers with Robinson or Flowers with Jackson back.
I have Robinson and Allen one spot apart. That's why I'm thinking about this for a brief moment. Does Zay Flowers intrigue you at all, with theoretically Lamar coming back this week? Because it's trending that way against a terrible Chicago secondary.
I mean, I don't love it. It's more the fact that he doesn't have to do a whole lot. Like, I want the volume, and I just don't see that happening.
I'm gonna play. I will tell you. I'll do it this way. I'll play. Is my actual wide receivers. I'll play Addison and Wandale, and then we'll get into flexes. My first flex will be the other running back. We'll play Scatterboo. And then it really comes down to a question of, what do you want your other wide receiver to be?
Allen.
And for me, I probably would. Tough. You're picking between at that point. You're picking between Flowers and Keenan Allen, which is kind of two sides of the same coin in a lot of ways.
Allen is at least seeing the targets, especially since we have no ability to.
It's Minnesota's second play. Allen against Minnesota's secondary that has no hope of ever getting better. The
worry also is the fact that the over-under is 44.5 on a Thursday. It's very intriguing. I'm very curious to see how this game goes.
I'll sit Flowers.
Yeah, That's kind of where I'm at too.
That's a hard sit, but I'll sit Flowers.
Sitting Flowers and Booty.
Yeah, Booty I'm not as broken up about. But sitting Flowers with Lamar back is against Chicago is also bad secondary. But I can't pass up an opportunity to play Allen against. You saw that. Did you see the game last week that Minnesota played? Did you see their secondary?
Yeah.
Just getting annihilated by the Eagles passing attack that hasn't done anything all year. So, and that's like every game that you watch with the Vikings, by the way. So, their secondary is really bad.
All right, David Patrick asks, "Sup guys? Lots of depth issues this week with buys, of course. Bench one in full PPR. DJ Moore, Jennings, or Mooney? I think I'm going to go with Mooney.
That's correct. We're going to sit Mooney.
And it's nothing to do with Mooney, just the fact that the last time they played, they really just dominated with London, and Bijan had, I think that was his 200-yard game. So, 200 all-purpose yards, yeah, I'm fine just rolling out Bijan and giving him dump off passes and winning that way. All right.
Polo would like to point out that the fact that the Jets only have 2 QBs on their roster is nefarious behavior, and that Fields is an OSU quarterback, and that all OSU quarterbacks are trash. And I would like to say, what are you telling me? What are you telling me? That Troy Smith was trash? That Braxton Miller was trash? That Terrell Pryor was trash? Yeah, okay. That Joel Klatt was trash? I'm sorry, that's a personal. That Jim Tressel was trash? It really is Baker Mayfield and
that's it.
Nothing.
Yeah.
And I'm going back like 30 years.
And
I'm going back like so long with some of those names.
All right.
Braxton Miller.
Back to Tamra, though. Ditching Fields with Goff on bye for sure. I'm thinking of Dart or Rodgers, but Wentz is out there too.
I'm pretty much. I'm getting married to Dart. I think.
Yeah. That's kind of my thing.
Kind of just
too hot
married
right now.
To it.
Got to stick with the new hotness.
That Hansel. He's so hot right now. It's kind of where we are. And then Tamara, I did see your direct message yesterday. I was having the day from hell. I have not forgotten about you. I need to have a sidebar with my coworkers here about how we're going to do this. So expect a DM response. I apologize for not getting back to you same day. I usually try to do better about that, but the world is not playing nice these days. People are getting real persnickety as we approach the holidays. Sorry, I used a Midwestern word there that not everyone knows. Crappy. People are getting real crappy with the holidays fast approaching. Daniel wants to know, Lamar is going to play correct. It is going that way.
Yeah.
We don't know.
It's trending that direction.
He practiced today.
Limited.
And yeah, but it's looking like he's going to do it. And I think if there's any chance that he could, they're going to try and make him because they can't really afford to lose any more games. Yeah, I think I don't worry about that, Daniel. I think she's going to be okay. I think he's going to play.
Yeah, not too worried about it.
How do you think you pronounce this?
Trisha?
Trickla? Trisha?
Yes.
There's an L in there, or is that an I?
It's an I.
No, it is an I. Okay.
Got to get those glasses upgraded, baby.
I go every year. You can't.
I know.
You can't. If they get any thicker, it's like
gonna start burning your retinas because the sun's coming in too hot. Vidal or Gadsden? Whew. That's interesting.
Because Haskins got ruled out already.
Yeah. And Hines just showed up.
But Kamani Vidal is not good.
I understand, but if they're going to use him in the passing game at all. Oh, and Tet. Sorry. The next one says Tet, not yet. So Tet, McMillan, Vidal, or Gadsden. Sorry, I missed that one earlier.
How did we get to McMillan? Where's McMillan coming in?
Trisha.
I just see
the
Vidal.
Next one that she says is Tet, not yet. So it's supposed to be Tet, McMillan, Kamani Vidal, Oronde Gadsden.
Oh, I see what you're doing there. Okay. I mean, I just play Tet, right? Like,
Maybe. I'm a little nervous if Dalton's a quarterback.
I mean, what are my other options? Like,
Yeah,
my
I guess that's
my
fair.
other options are not good. So here, I'll literally run this through my flex rankings. I mean, that's what we'll do. I'm pretty sure the answer is going to be Tet. So far, it's Tet.
Still Ted. Still gonna be Ted.
Yeah, it's Tet.
Okay. All right.
I'm gonna play Tet. I'm just gonna hold my nose and go with it.
Hope for the best.
It's the devil I know versus the devil that I don't want to know in Vidal, and there is a sick part of me that wouldn't mind playing Gadsden, but
Real iffy,
I
man.
cannot really. Yeah, you're talking about the same problem with both of those other guys. Vidal has had exactly one good game in his career, and it was not last week; it was the week prior.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago.
And Gadsden has had exactly one good game in his career, and it was last week.
Yeah, he had one great game and 2 fine games so far in his career.
I mean, you're counting the sub 10-point game against Denver. I'm not really sold on that. He was tight end 14 that week in there. I will give you the 12-point game against Miami, and then obviously the game last week. I'll give you those two. But I'm not giving you that game against Denver. That was not. He didn't even make the top 12. He wasn't even a startable tight end that week.
Oh, I was talking.
I'm not.
So was that 2 weeks ago? He had. And no, his first game. He had 10 points.
Week 3 against Denver, he had 9.6. And what I'm telling you is that was good for tight end 14, which would be outside of startable range, and I'm not giving it to you. What I am willing to do is give you the week 6 game where he was 12, and then the week 7 game where he was the literal tight end 1. I will give you those two.
Okay.
But you're not getting that third one from me. Not happening. I don't make the rules. I just think them up and write them down.
All right. Okay, Carson Hillbilly. Am I dropping Jameson Williams for Wan'Dale Robinson? Or
didn't get that joke at all. That joke you just saw it buzz right by his ear hole. Are you dropping Jameson Williams for Wan'Dale? Well, I'm not doing that for Tez. Would you do it for Wan'Dale?
It depends on what you need. I think Wan'Dale's a lot more steady, and you'll be able to use him.
Is there no universe where I could try and trade
Jameson
some of this?
Yeah, can I get?
I don't know
Jameson
anything
somebody
about.
Else?
I don't know about how this league works. Like maybe if it's a 10-team league or something, you couldn't do it, but and you just cut him. But in a 12-team league, I feel like cutting him is well. I guess it probably is a 10-team league, given the idea that the theory here is that Wan'Dale's available to be picked up. Because in a 12-team league, that's probably not happening already at this point, given what he's already done. Yeah. Still feel like what I'd rather do. And I'm
drop
waffling. I would rather try and trade Williams for something and some sort of 2-for-1. You know?
Yeah, but we also don't. We're not massive fans of Williams anyway. We're not the people
I
who've
wasn't
been touting him.
I don't have any shares. So the answer to your question is this: I have Jameson Williams at 81 overall for my rest of season rankings, and I have Wan'Dale at 83. So what I'm telling you is that I have no real issue doing that if you're just done with it. Like if you're at the point where you're like, you know what, I'm sick and tired of this roller coaster of nothing, or I get my literal 2 double-digit games. Because at this point, we've seen what this is. Wan'Dale, he's got a whole whopping 3 double-digit games. But the difference is that the Giants don't have anything else. So that's kind of what you're banking on there.
He has 4. He has 3 bad games. And I think that was...
I didn't say bad games. I said double-digit games, and he has 3.
What? 11.5, 28.2, 20.4, and 15.5.
Oh, I'm looking at half-point PPR. Oh, fine. Okay.
That's why. Why are you in full point? Stop doing that.
In full point PPR, he does get to 4. So, well, first of all, he didn't even specify what his league is.
Oh, that's
so
fair. That's fair.
Nana boo boo. And
he hasn't given you a 0. That's the one thing you can say about Robinson.
He's never put up a literal. He has never put up a literal 0. If you're done with it, I don't blame you, and you just want to be done. To me, I think it's like a lateral move. at least you know with Wandale you won't get a literal 0. I still feel like I would try and take a few minutes and see if I could package Williams and something else to trade it, like try to get a 2-for-1 done, and then I could use my free roster spot to just pick up Wandale, because that way I get to have my cake and eat it too. But if that's not a reality in your league, then I get it. You have my blessing to cut Jameson and pick up Wandale, and you don't want Tez. Tez, cool story.
He'll be fine this week, but outside of that, you're probably.
We still haven't gotten my suspicions confirmed that Godwin's going to get shut down for the year. It's been my theory. Now we're gonna learn in week 10 what the story is. Because I'll tell you right now, if Godwin's not playing after that bye, Jason, that my sneaking theory about them shutting him down is going to get a lot more traction. Because I know it's a fibula and it's like it takes time, but
can they do?
We're running out
tank?
of runway.
Can they just do a full tank at this point?
We're running out of runway, man, and no, they're too good for that. So if Godwin is shut down, then talk to me about my updated expectations for Tez Johnson. And Polo, I'm glad you appreciated my extensive, well, not exhaustive, but extensive list of terrible Ohio State quarterbacks. And then Gonzalez would like to point out that Brandon Weeden disrespect will not be tolerated. Well, you are in the wrong place, sir, because that's about all I have for Brandon Weeden. I was living in Ohio when he was starting for the Browns, so I got a front row seat to watch that. I do not have any happy memories from argue that deal in reverse. Then why would they do it? Now, if that guy, say, is loaded at wide receiver and is screwed at quarterback, sure, he might do that. I would be fine getting out of the Daniels business, though.
Yeah.
Unless it's a dynasty league, and then no.
I could have.
Assuming it's not a dynasty league, and this is a redraft super flex league, I'm fine with giving up Daniels to get CeeDee Lamb, if that other person will do it.
Yeah, especially with Flacco, Jones, and May. I'm completely fine giving up.
Yeah, you could just play 2 of the 3 of those for the rest of the year. You're fine. You don't need the extra quarterback. But if this is a dynasty league, I probably don't want to give up my young quarterback for this. But if it's not a dynasty league and it's a straight 2-quarterback redraft league, yeah, go for it, man. See if he'll do it. I have my doubts that he would, but yeah. Polo, where is Steve? He usually drops in by now to come heckle us. He must be running late.
He must be
running late. He must either be busy or he's just running late and he'll show up later. And then PA wants to know Browns, Falcons, or Tampa. Real quick. Go for it, Jason. What do you like?
Pretty sure I have Falcons.
I have the Falcons barely. Oh, hang on. That's rest of the season. That explains a lot. I was like, no, I just did this. I have the Falcons at 3. So it's going to be hard to beat.
Yeah. I do have the Bucs in the top 10, though.
Yeah, but I'm just going to play the Falcons. Keep it simple. Why? Like, the Falcons is actually like a decent defense. They just give up a lot of yards.
Yeah.
They do not allow points, which is good.
Especially
that
at home.
Defense. Look, that defense, I have talked a lot of crap. We can go through the archives. I've talked a lot of crap about the Atlanta defense for years, and I've been right. So I say this, providing that as context, because I've kind of been a Atlanta defense hater for years. That defense is a lot better. The fixes that they put in place in the offseason, it's working. Like, they've gone from being a complete and utter failure of a defense to being competent. It's pretty good in 1 year, to turn it that much. So I don't trust them as far as I can throw them, obviously. And especially as we've learned, Jason, I had to remind some people of this the other day. The Falcons cannot win in prime time. Okay? And that's not a new problem. That goes back to the like my youth. Like, that goes back to the 90s, bro. Like the Falcons do not win in prime time. That is a thing. So when they play these prime time games and get embarrassed, people are like, "Oh, they're a fraud team," and I'm like, "Yeah, kind of." But they're probably going to go to the playoffs. They're going to. It's going that way. But then what happens in the playoffs? When are those games? They're in prime time, aren't they?
Yeah. Not ideal.
Fun fact.
Ooh,
Tamara wants to know Wandale or Addison, and that
is Addison.
That's a real question.
No, it's not. I love Addison.
Yeah, I'm going to say
You're
Addison
my boy,
too,
Blue.
but I'm saying I agree. I'm going to play Addison because as I was saying, I am saying I would play Addison over a lot of stuff. Like that's why I was saying for weeks, you have this weird window to try and acquire Addison before it gets priced out of reality, and now we're in the priced out of reality zone. But man, that 2 weeks. If you could have got Addison, I know a couple people that were able to do it, and they love their lives right now. And I'm telling you. And in that one league we playing together with the contracts, I extended Addison for 4 years because at this point, like, we got to go with it. Well, it's still somewhat affordable because if I wait until the end of the year to do it, the price is only going to go up. So we just bite the bullet and do it now. But that is a real question, by the way, because they go about it in very different ways. Robinson gets the volume. Addison just catches moonshots. But it's really Addison for one more week. It's Addison for one more week. And then we see what the quarterback situation is. That's the only problem. And Tamara, I know what you're going through there, where it's like whatever one you pick is wrong. At least you're wrong to the difference of between 15 and 20 as opposed to 0. So it's but I would roll Addison this week. And then Polo, yeah, I mean, like DJ Moore is getting started this week in a lot of areas because of the buys.
Yeah, 6 teams on buy.
Yeah, so it's like this. I know it's not great, but like if you look at Moore in full PPR, 9, 10, 13, 8, 8, 8, like that normally doesn't cut it, but with 6 teams on a buy, it does. Like that's the sad reality of this week. Expect depressed scoring from certain teams this week. And I mean in fantasy, not in real life. I mean, but some of the fantasy totals in your league are probably going to be depressed. And PA wants to know QJ, Leggett, or Hollywood. Pick 2.5 points.
It'd be Leggett if Young.
I'm assuming we're staying with the wide receivers here, by the way, because people keep saying QJ, even though I've asked them specifically to stop doing that, because there are 2 QJs now. So I'm assuming he means Johnston. Yeah.
I'd assume so as well. But it really comes down to quarterback for me. If Dalton is the quarterback, I'm going to play Leggett. Otherwise, I will go with Brown.
I agree with that. I'm going to play Leggett. The minute I hear that it's Andy Dalton, we're going to put Leggett in there. And if it is not Andy Dalton, then I'm going to play Hollywood. I do not, me no likey. Bryce Young, no throw E to Leggett in way me likey.
Yeah. Does not
but
like
Andy
him.
Dalton. But Andy Dalton does.
He loves him.
Sure, Andy Dalton sure does. And I think that we know this. Andy Dalton picks his favorite thing and then just locks in on it. And that goes back to when he was playing with the Bengals. Like, that's just how he plays. So we seem to have established that Dalton likes Leggett, and he's going to throw to him.
Historically. Okay.
Yep.
We missed one with Tamara, though. Mariota or Dalton? That's a good one.
I mean,
oh.
It's not a good one for her.
I know.
I
was talking about an actual. That's a really difficult question.
I'm going to play Mariota, so like that's what I'm going to go with.
Man. Yeah, probably, but golly,
I'm not ever going to recommend that people play Andy Dalton, and that 20 years on that take, it feels like. And it's probably 15 in reality, but it feels like 20.
All right, we'll do the other one from her. Do you think Freiermuth will have another big night against Green Bay? The answer is probably. Green Bay is actually really
Anything's
bad against tight
possible.
ends.
Anything's possible. What's my other option? I can't imagine you only have Freiermuth. Oh, wait, it's for Flyers.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well,
Fillers.
we'll do this. We'll do this during the wheel segment, but since this isn't specifically a wheel question, let's go through some possible pickups. Let's say maybe post initial waiver run pickups. I'm sure. What were your picks from last night, Jason? I'm not going to lie to you. I didn't have a chance to watch that show. I usually try to catch up with it, but I did not have an opportunity to yesterday.
Oh, it's all good. Well, Gaston, of course, was the big one that everybody was hot to trot for.
Yeah, he was and that's probably over. So past that, go deeper.
Oops, wrong one. I know I touched on. Well, I don't think I actually said Freiermuth this past week. Golly, where did I put it? It was Barner, Loveland, because Komet's potentially out, and Theo Johnson.
But that's just tight ends. Like, she just says flex.
Oh, just flex?
Flex specifically.
I love Alec Pierce.
That's an interesting one.
Couple weeks.
Are you at all worried about that Downs looks like he's going to clear the concussion protocol?
No, because of all it takes is one. That's all
I guess
it takes
that's
for
true
Pierce.
when you're referring to Pierce. I guess that's true when you're referring to Pierce.
If you want something a little more, I guess I'm not going to say safe, but I liked. We talked about Jalen Lane and Jalen Knoll.
Oh Lord, you're going to recommend something on the Texans? Oh God. Oh, that's suicide. That's extreme suicide.
Well, because again, we've already touched on Leggett. If Dalton is in, that's the guy you want. Of all the waiver wire options, if Dalton is the quarterback, go and get Leggett and just fill it and play it because he's 14% rostered.
But you're okay. Too deep.
Oh,
too deep.
My bad.
We've gone too deep. We've gone in fully. We're into the center of the earth now. We're gonna tunnel to China is where we're headed there. Okay, so let's back up slightly. So I would say the number one waiver pickup. Not the number one waiver pickup, but the number one thing to look for is we've got a rare opportunity to possibly pick up Pacheco because Pacheco was dropped in a lot of leagues to the point where he is still very available. And we talked about this briefly. Kareem Hunt keeps getting hurt and is not long for this. And they've been using Pacheco more. And my issue with Pacheco is when he's only seen 50% of the snaps, and in that one game it was 40. I'm not interested. But when he's at 60% of the snaps to 65, I become significantly more interested. The media asked about what they're going to do with Brashard Smith, and it was not like a glowing review, I would say. It wasn't like horrible, but it was very much like coach speak, where they were talking about like, yeah, he's doing stuff. And it's like, yeah, that's not like a ringing endorsement. Per se. So she's saying, what would be better than Hollywood Brown, Higgins, or Ray Davis? Would you play Freiermuth over any of that? I'm going to say I would play Freiermuth over Ray Davis, but that's going to be the end of that list.
Well, do you think that's T. Higgins or Jaden Higgins?
I'm going to assume T. Higgins.
Well, T. Higgins should then move to the front of this line.
Oh, yeah, by far. By far. But people are still... Right or wrong,
not trusting of
they're still
Flacco.
frustrated about it. They're still frustrated about it. That's what it is, more so than I think anything to do with Flacco. What I would say, because we get a lot of that with the Higgins stuff. This isn't the only place that this has come up. So I'd say, I mean, it's been a topic. Let's say. So I would say Higgins would be what I'm starting because you and I think agree on this. Flacco vaults him back into startable territory. I'd start him over Hollywood, and I'd start him over Ray Davis, and I'd start him over Freiermuth.
Nope, it's Jaden.
Oh, it's Jaden. Okay, cool. That actually makes more sense. But yeah. I couldn't imagine anybody still playing Jaden Higgins.
Yeah.
So you're really the marker. So the marker then is well, it's Tamara, so this might be a dynasty league. If this is a
Oh, that's
dynasty
fair.
league, it suddenly makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, yeah.
These questions I'm being asked make a lot more sense if framed through the lens of dynasty. Because in redraft, it's like, oh god, what happened? But in dynasty, I could see how we got here because you probably drafted Higgins, and you probably either picked up Hollywood or you retain Hollywood from previous seasons. And I could see even in dynasty at this point, I could see where Freiermuth was cut. So it's let's retarget. Would you play Freiermuth over any of that? I'm playing Hollywood over Freiermuth. I'll tell you that right now.
That's the only one I'm playing over Hollywood or over Freiermuth right now.
Okay.
Well, I guess that's not true because Nico might be out.
That's the question. That's why I'm asking, because it does matter if Nico Collins was ruled out. Like in my flex rankings, I have Jaden Higgins at 102, which is not great, right? But I have Freiermuth at 120. I have Freiermuth at like 120. So that's just because of the position he plays, and because
there's 3 tight ends on that team.
And if he doesn't score twice, like you're. And the only reason that started happening was because they actually managed to shut down DK Metcalf, and very few other teams have done that. So I would play Higgins, but I would play Freiermuth over Ray Davis. I'm not interested in playing Ray Davis. I have Ray Davis at 157. So okay, so it's a keeper league. So let's go through the full list then. Here are your choices. I'm going to list them off. Hollywood, Jaden Higgins, Ray Davis, Freiermuth,
Calvin
Ridley,
Darius Slayton,
Jonnu Smith, and Darius Slayton. Do you get either Steelers tight end?
I think if I'm going, I think we're.
How many are we picking? How many are we picking, Tamara?
Yeah, I still think I'm just going to go.
Is it 3? I bet it's
Brown, Higgins, and like Freiermuth would be the 3 that I would go with. Off of that list.
Yeah. It's definitely Hollywood. Nobody's beating that. And then I'm going to play Jaden Higgins probably regardless. And we're really hoping for a Nico Collins rule out, right?
Yeah. I mean, didn't practice today and he's in concussion protocol, which don't get me wrong, he can still play. It could happen.
We got time. It's only Wednesday, but not trending in the right direction.
Usually you have a practice on Wednesday. Well, I guess it was that was Monday night game, wasn't it?
Yeah. So it's an estimation, so we don't know.
Ugh.
And then
he needs at least a limited tomorrow. Is that fair?
Okay. So it makes it a lot easier when you think about it this way. I'm gonna bring it into this direction. So it's gonna be Hollywood 1, Jaden Higgins is 2, and then it's a choice for 3 between which Steelers tight end do you want, because it's really close between Jonnu and Freiermuth. And this is the problem with recommending this, is because I have no idea what the split is. And do you want to know why I don't know what the split is? Because they don't know what the split is. So it's like...
Because it had been Darnell Washington.
It gets into personal preference so fast with that, where it's like, what do you want? What do you feel better about? Because I can tell you right now, I lean towards Jonnu. Yeah, Freiermuth had the bigger game, right? But if you look at their body of work, Jonnu is getting more consistent work. Freiermuth just had the one huge game where he blew up. So you're really talking about, so it's, you could take 2. I want Higgins and Brown.
Yep.
Is what I want. Those are my 2.
Third
choice is the Steelers tight end. That's the third choice. And you're really hoping for a Nico Collins rule out here. Gonzalez wants to know. Oh dear. Picked up Tucker as a dart throw. Thinking of going after Mananganai.
If I can't get him, only other running back on the waivers is Devin Neal, Ollie Gordon, and Tracy. Any of those worth picking up over Tucker? I think
I'm
Monangai
assuming he
is.
means Trey. I think he means Trey Tucker, right?
Yeah, I'd agree. It's Trey Tucker.
Okay.
Even if it wasn't, the other Tucker would be lower on the list
Sean,
anyway.
it'd be Sean Tucker. That's true, and
Yeah.
that's not good either. I would take
Monangai.
Monanganai, Tracy, and Devin Neal all over Trey Tucker at this point. The only reason to hold on to Trey Tucker is if you're hoping that the Raiders are suddenly going to get better.
Or Trey
and I don't
Myers.
believe, and even that is that would
just saw how
help,
that
but
worked.
it's not. It doesn't really work that way, as you know. So it's like even that is only because what for all I know, you trade Jacoby Myers and then it's just Jack Besh in there. They literally drafted Jack Besh to do what Jacoby Myers does. That's literally why and you don't have to pay him Jacoby Myers money. You know what I mean? So it's like that was the point of what they did. The writing was on the wall for what they financially wanted to commit. And you're talking about we get ever closer to Brock Bowers coming back. So what is Tucker really? To me, it's nothing. I would take any of those three running backs. I actually think I like Tracy the most. Monanganai is going to need to show me another game where he looks like that. Good game. I watched a lot of that game. He looked good. I can understand why people are looking at this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's also coming up to bye,
why.
So I'm very curious to see if they continue with that almost even split between the two.
And it's not even like hurting Swift that badly. As far as I'm concerned, it's fine. If you want to let Swift have 60% of it to preserve him so he doesn't get hurt, as someone who's watched Swift play his entire career, probably smart. Probably a good idea to keep him explosive and let Monanganai, who they took in the 7th round and have no commitment to whatsoever. They like him more than the other bottles and cans that he beat out to make the team as a 7th round pick. He's buried everyone on that depth chart at this point, except for Swift, who he'll never catch. He doesn't. Sorry, but that's just not happening. If they keep him, it's because he's very cheap. That's kind of what it is. But why not let Kyle Monanganai go in there and absorb some car crashes for you? You know, like what do you care? So he's very attractive. Devin Neal is attractive for largely the same reason, by the way, and it's kind of the same thing with Tracy. It's basically the same logic for all three of them. But I have Neal definitively third on that list, by the way.
Agreed.
Monanganai and Tracy are close, and then Neal is kind of the consolation prize.
Yep. All right. Go to Daniel Everhart with the PPR pick 3. Chase Brown, Dowdle, Mason, Bill, or Pollard. Oh, I think that kind of gets made straight up, right? Because Pollard, I'm not sure, is playing.
Brown is probably playing and probably starting for you at this point.
Yeah. And I'm not playing Bill.
You're not going to play Bill.
I am not.
That's interesting.
I'm worried the 49ers aren't stupid and are going to stack the box because you have nobody to throw to.
Yeah, well, you don't know that yet. but there are major questions about who would be throwing it, even if you did. That's my major issue, because they're saying the plan is for both Debo and Scary Terry to play this week. That's the logic. Is that they're saying they're both on track to practice all week. Now it's freaking Wednesday, so they didn't even practice today. So talk to me tomorrow. More accurately, talk to me Sunday, because that game's on Monday. So that's the other problem, is you got to wait, which isn't great. It's not ideal. But I would play Brown and Dowdle for sure.
Also, Chiefs have been decent against the run. I mean, they just held Jetty to what? 30
Here's
yards,
what I'll tell
yards.
you. Here's what I'll tell you. On Wednesday, I have it as Brown, Dowdle, and Mason. That's how I have it on as of Wednesday.
I agree.
Ask this question again on Sunday, once we have practice reports, not just for Washington, but also for Minnesota. because they're trying to get Aaron Jones reactivated, and that might mess with the math.
Yeah, limited practice.
Yeah, let's see what Jones is able to do. Let's see if Jones is actually able to get. He was only designated for return. He was not officially activated. There is a distinction, so we have to wait to see if he actually gets activated.
Okay, the one right after that, Flacco or Daniel Jones. You still have Daniel Jones, right? You can't.
I'm not that high on Flacco. It's a cool story, and it was that was the best Thursday night game I've seen in 3 years. I watched the whole thing.
Rude.
It was very enjoyable.
Chargers Chiefs to start the year. I guess that was a Friday. That doesn't count, I guess.
That doesn't count. None of that counts. You don't count week 1. None of that counts. You got to talk. You're talking about the in-season games on Amazon Prime where no one cares. But that was the best game I've seen in a long time. Not just because of the game, but also everything around the game. Al Michaels and Kirk Herbstreit were literally just dicking around. It felt like Al Michaels had a few before they started. I can't prove that, obviously. And so that's why I said felt like, because I don't know. But I think my favorite part of the game was when they cut to that group of shirtless dudes that were standing around, and Al Michaels is like, we could pay him to stay after and go to the post-game show. And I'm like, oh, God, Al Michaels is just like, it feels like he's not exactly sober, and he's just kind of like looking for stuff in the crowd to comment on. But it is Jones, by the way.
Yeah. All right. And then kind of more of a statement. Do you think Njoku or Downs play?
I think Downs is gonna play. I think there's a real shot at that.
I think they both have the shot to play.
I think Downs is more likely to play. Njoku, I'm less sold on. I'll put it to you this way. I moved Downs up in my rankings, given that he was able to put in a limited practice. I did not move up Njoku.
You know, he also
largely
had a
because
practice.
Yeah, but the difference between that is that the Browns are on bye next week.
That's fair.
So if there's any shot that Njoku might have a problem, they will likely be conservative and shut him down to give him the extra week through the bye and come back a lot more healthy. Whereas the Colts don't have a bye until week 11. That's the difference.
All right. Next one from Daniel. PPR, pick 3, Diggs, Debo, Worthy, Swift, Stevenson. Oof.
Well, you're probably playing Swift. I don't see how you're not playing Swift at this point.
I also don't know how you're not playing Stevenson. I guess it's a Browns. That might hurt him.
Let's see.
Golly, I don't want to play either Patriot.
Well, I'm not playing Debo because you're going to have to wait on it.
Yeah.
It's Swift for sure.
I agree. Swift for sure.
It's Swift. Hang on. Sorry. I'm doing math. Always a struggle on camera. I'm gonna play Swift, and then I'm gonna play Diggs, and then it's really close between Worthy and Stevenson, like really close. And I think I'm gonna give the edge. I have the edge slightly towards Stevenson, despite the bad matchup. That has a lot to do with the return of Rashee Rice. That is what scares me about Worthy, that much better matchup for Worthy. Much better matchup for Worthy, by the way, than it is for Stevenson. But I am a little afraid of the return of Rashee Rice as it relates to Worthy's long-term value.
Fair.
What do you think? How are you doing this? Are you going to play Stevenson?
If the Browns weren't so good against like everybody when it comes to their defense, it really makes me nervous to play 2 Patriots.
Yeah, I'm going to bite the bullet though and recommend it. We'll see how practice reports come in, but I'm playing Swift, Stevenson, and Diggs. And if I was afraid of what you're talking about, then I'd sub out Stevenson for Worthy, because of the matchup, and it's very close between those two anyway.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go Swift, Worthy, Diggs.
All right,
But
it's very close.
yeah,
The,
don't
two of
love
them are
it.
two of them are. I feel good about two of them.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
agree.
feel good about that third one.
Definitely iffy. All right, M. Gonzalez coming in. Don't want to start Waddle. Wide receiver available on waiver: Coker, Leggett, Pierce. Houston wide receivers: Mooney, Shepard. Any worth picking up? Doesn't need to cut anybody. That's a plus. Oh, and Brashard
I don't
Smith.
like it. I'll pick up Leggett, but I'm not interested in starting him over Waddle.
But we just talked about how good the Falcons' defense was. I'm giving.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not playing this game with you. Like,
I agree. I will play Leggett if Dalton is under center. The other option,
I would not play Leggett over Waddle even with Dalton under center.
But outside of that, you're probably going to have to play Waddle.
I would pick up Leggett in case something happened, but I'm not. There's realistically no universe where I'm dealing with that. There's no Houston wide receiver that I would want. No. Pick up Leggett, but I'm sorry, sir. I think you're playing Waddle.
Yeah. Pollard or Shaheed for Tamra?
That's a good question. These are the real questions. Like that. See,
well,
that's
Pollard's
like,
also beat up again.
I know, but like this is like a question that people like this is one that this is like deep flex. You know what I mean? Like we're deep into flex stuff here. So I have in my flex rankings, I have Tony Pollard at 57 and I have Rashid Shaheed at 59. That's why I say it's a good question, because you're right there. You're like right on the button with like how I view this. I am going to, I don't normally do this, but I'll go against my own rankings based on the idea that it's PPR and it's only 2 spots. And both of us called Tony Pollard as a something to avoid last week, and we were technically wrong, by the way, because he had 12 points in PPR.
Because Spears got hurt.
But if you saw how he had to get that 12 points, he got 6 targets and he had to catch all of them. You really think that's repeatable? He only played 55% of the snaps. I'm not interested in that.
With Spears getting injured
as a consistent thing, like he ain't catching 6 targets again. That man can't catch. No. And Rashid. Well, the other thing is Rashid Shaheed is playing against the Tampa Bay crap secondary.
And Olave is beat up. He didn't practice today with his ankle injury.
I bet he plays.
I'm sure he will, but hope.
I'm playing Shaheed. The upside is significantly higher as well.
Yeah. Ugh. Louis. Rest of season, Jamo or Godwin?
What? Oh, rest of season.
Yeah.
Rest of season.
Whoa.
You
have to go Godwin, right? You have to go Godwin.
I'm pulling up my rest of season rankings. I'm not.
Woof.
I'm not allowing emotion to get involved into this. We're just gonna read the answer off the paper.
I'm pretty sure they have like one of the best rest of season schedules. That's the only reason I'm bringing it up.
Not for the playoffs.
Bucks don't?
Regular season,
okay.
But Tampa Bay's fantasy playoff schedule isn't that.
Did I lose you, Neil? Uh-oh. I think he actually froze this time. What the heck? Well, so much for that. Okay. Well, until we get Neil back, like I was saying, I'm probably going to go Godwin. It's not the ideal situation. I just don't trust Jameson Williams as far as I can with you guys. It's really rough. So much rather roll with Godwin for me, especially now with Mike Evans out. He's going to say he's against it again because of the fact that he's also worried about them shutting down Godwin, just because he can't seem to stay healthy. So, well, let's see if I can't get it back here. Do. Oh, why that's working. All right. Tamara, I'll start dealing with this until we get Neil back. I'm not quite sure what happened there. What's up with Purdy? Well, that's interesting. When we're looking at Purdy, you're more worried about the fact that it's more just coming down to the 49ers not having everybody healthy. And the fact that Jones is playing well, and this is probably going to potentially be one of their last weeks. I know he had a limited practice again, which is similar to last week. I get you being worried about it, but it is definitely an issue to continue working on it. Keep trying to get his camera back. All right, but so while he's working through it, I understand having to have Mariota. It's not ideal, but could be worse. And then what are we talking about? We'll come back to that for sure. All right, Daniel. Disaster at RB. Just picked up Jay Hill to play. Other choices: Pirine, Tracy, Davis, Sean Tucker, McNichols, or Smith. Looking at those options, I'm probably actually going to go Brashard Smith. Again, we kind of touched on it earlier. It's dealing with the fact that Hunt can't seem to stay healthy. And so until that happens, you have to roll with him over these other options. I don't really love any of them. It makes me very iffy on it at best. So, yeah. Sorry, I'm Gonzalez. It's just how it is, man. Is Terry leaning towards playing? So he had his limited practice. Today, but we're still not sure on how his health is working out. So unfortunately, until that happens, you're kind of just stuck with what you currently have. Whoever you've been playing, unless they're on bye, that's where you kind of get into an issue. All right. PPR flex. In Washington. Franklin, Shepard, Watson on the wire. Mims for Ridley, Reynolds. Okay, Daniel. Here, man, I'm actually probably going to go Franklin. I think that's a game that they're chasing points in, and I still think you have to roll with it. Just how it's going to go. Washington is interesting if you get any kind of return yards, but trusting that is also not in a situation that I want to be in because, again, you're looking at that horrible offense, and we talked about how good the Falcons have been, and so that really just has me not wanting to play them whatsoever. And then, dang it, Daniel. Come on now. You should know better. Just how it goes. Okay. Going to start. So, since we don't have it yet, while we're trying to get Neil back, we'll continue to work through it. I thought I had somebody earlier. Where did Birdie go? All right. So while I'm waiting, Brady Lee offered Kamara and Goddard for Shakir. What should I take? Given these two options, I mean, I'm probably going to go Kamara. Well, let me see. Hall, Genty, Knight. Definitely. Why is Steven? This has to be a short league. Just lost Waller, but Kincaid is on. Oh yeah, I'd be picking up Kincaid right now. I'd also be looking at Kamara more than Goddard because again, there's options out there, and I also want to pick up Stevenson. Both are fine when you'll be able to use Knight for next week, but after that, you're kind of in a weird spot. So given that, that's probably where I'd go, but it also depends on, I see you say PPR, but I don't know if this is redraft or if you get keepers or dynasty. All that's very important when you're looking at this. All right, texting you guys. I got Aaron Jones and Wandale for Goddard and Gainwell. I like that. That's a massive boost. I like that a lot, actually. You better have that in writing and make sure everybody in the league knows it, Daniel. That's how important this is. Because if you don't have anything to show and people don't know, he's able to just walk away. So I don't care. I would ask him to give you one of them now and get the other later. Since he needs Wandale, ask him to give you Jones for Gainwell right now, and you can trade Goddard later. But yeah, you need to have something that he's invested in order to keep this game going. Tamron, pick up Ridley or Bourne. I have 4 people on buy. Puka on my R. Oh. Yeah, given these options, I would probably be looking at I would probably be picking up Bourne, mostly because I don't think Ridley's going to play. So, very curious to see how that ends up working out for him. Hey, we got Neil back. Hi, Neil.
I'm going to find the man who invented Discord, and I am going to break every bone in his crotch. Sorry about that, folks. Discord just decided to take a little nap, apparently. Well, not so much take a nap as it needed to be put down like a fussy toddler. So my apologies. I had to go force kill that because randomly it just decided that it was no longer going to recognize my audio or anything.
Yeah. I was just like, well, okay.
What I miss? The last thing I remember was Jameson versus Godwin, but I saw you were doing some more questions. So where are we at?
Okay. Well, so answer that one first because I kind of filibustered for you because I figured.
Well,
you
we did that. We did that. It was Godwin, and I don't like it.
Okay. I wasn't sure because you said you also weren't sure if he was going to stop due to.
Well, that's the problem is that we don't know if he's going to get shut down. That's why the hesitation.
Then I covered Purdy and that issue.
All right, that's good. We don't need to revisit that.
Then let's see.
The Purdy thing is pretty well documented.
Just picked up Jay Hill. Other choices are P. Ryan, Tracy, Davis, Sean Tucker, McNichols, or Brashard Smith. And I told him I would rather have Smith, but again, it really depends on.
I'd probably prefer Tracy off that list of any of them, but
for a play this week.
Yeah.
Okay.
He scored last week.
Yeah.
None of those options are good. I think Tracy is the least bad of the options.
Yeah. That's fine. I just have. I'm clearly very high on him because I've been liking what I see and the fact that I don't think Hunt just keeps getting beat up. And so this is another game that I think they could easily control. But the Smitty has a trade question.
My options for him, real quick, if I had to rank them, would be Tracy 1, and then P. Ryan 2, Look, they're going to get him involved. They've made that very clear that they're going to use what I think of him individually is not up for discussion. Really, it's about what they think. Unfortunately, Hill, I would have down the list a bit here, sir. I like Tracy, and I like Samaje Perine a little bit. Smith is the one that. How do I express this idea? Smith is the one that if you want to gamble, that's the one that you can. That's the most gambliest. That's the one with the highest range of outcomes. How's that sound? Because Smith probably has the highest ceiling of any of them, but I think his floor is literally nothing. Whereas with Samaje Perine, you will get something. With Tyrone Tracy, you will get something. Now that might be a 5, but you will get something. Whereas with Smith, you could literally get like a 1, or he could play half the snaps. Like that's on a team with Patrick Mahomes as its quarterback. He played a season high 35% of the snaps last week with Hunt leaving the game early. So that's why I'm saying to you, he has the highest range of outcomes, but he also has the lowest floor. Like his floor is almost literal 0. It's not quite 0, but it's as close to 0 as you could be without touching it.
Okay, you want to deal with the trade question?
Did we do all the other questions?
I mean, I think so.
Is this trade question related to Daniel Ward?
No.
Who I see has joined us? Okay.
No. So I kind of touched on one earlier.
Who should DM us if this is related to his roster resolution?
So Brittany Lee asked a lot earlier. Was offered Kamara and Goddard for Shakir. Which should I take? He or she has Hall, Genty, and Knight. Somehow Ramondre Stevenson, Kincaid, and Gadsden are all on waivers.
The hell? Okay, one more time. Do that again.
Okay.
Read that again.
So she can either have Kamara or Goddard for Shakir. However, she has Breece Hall, Genty, and Knight on her roster as running backs. Somehow Ramondre Stevenson, Dalton Kincaid, and Oronde Gadsden are all on waivers.
Okay. First thing I would do is I would cut Bam Knight and go pick up
Stevenson.
Stevenson.
Okay.
It's the first thing I would do. Do that. Forget the trade. Stop listening to this and go do that, okay? Because Bam Knight, that's a huge upgrade. Like Stevenson should not be on waivers at this point in the season. I understand that a lot of people think he's terrible, and there's a lot of evidence to back that up, but it doesn't matter because he's playing, and he's going to keep playing for the Patriots because, as we've covered on a previous show, he's the only one on that team in that running back room that can do pass protection. So that's it. And I wish they were going to play the Titans every week. He'd be a top 10 running back the rest of the year. But either way, he's still going to get meaningful work. So cut Bam Knight, whose value is very temporary anyway, and he isn't that good, and go pick up Ramondre. And then the trade question, the actual trade question, which is you get a choice between either Goddard or Kamara for
Khalil Shakir.
What was it?
Khalil Shakir.
I mean, I would do that deal either way, right?
Yeah. I think I want Kamara more.
The question is, which one do you want? I would rather have Kamara because it's running back.
Yeah.
Like, you don't get replacement running backs. I will find you streaming tight ends all week long. Like, we do it every Wednesday. We are very much in the camp of tight end does not matter. Hence the whole wheel of tight end thing. Because they don't matter. Kamara, yeah, he's had some struggles. But now with Kendre Miller being done for the year again, which sucks for him.
Yeah.
Give me Kamara. So I would do that deal right now. I would do Shakir for Kamara straight up, and then I would cut Bam Knight to get Ramondre.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what I would do.
The other one is the Smitty, who's 1-6, got a Superflex league, has Daniels and Purdy, and I have their backups. So would you trade Jaden Daniels, Brees Hall, Nico Collins for Trevor Lawrence, Olave, and Saquon? I don't think I would.
Which Daniels?
I'm assuming that's Jaden.
Probably, right?
It has to be the last name. You went with the last names for everybody except for Brees Hall and Saquon. I guess the running backs are both first names. So, yeah, I'd go Jaden Daniels and Brock Purdy. I just think that hurts your running backs too much. And while it helps you at wide receiver, I don't know if it's that big of an upgrade.
I'm probably just going to pass.
Yeah.
You really want to deal with Saquon at this point?
Rest of my lineup is
on the struggle bus.
Kittle, Rice, Jennings, Scadaboo, Monty, White, Fannin. Yeah, if you really want, so this is going to be my time. We're going to tell you. We still have roster resolutions open. So if you want us to take a look at your league, go through all your trade options, what we think you need, if there's anything you need, that's the best way to do it. So
$10.
Yeah,
$10 available for sale on our website.
Super inexpensive.
Which is literally easy to find. It's importantnonsense.com. How easy is that? So importantnonsense.com, $10. We'll go through this entire exercise with you. We'll literally evaluate your entire team. I will tell you based on the information that you have provided to give you a firm answer. I would pass on this deal.
I agree.
I don't want to take the downgrade to Lawrence. Sure, you get a small uptick with a lot from Olave from Nico, and you don't have to deal with Nico anymore because I know that's very frustrating. But as someone who's rostered a lot of Saquon this year, you'll guess what you get to deal with. You don't get to deal with being frustrated at Nico. Now you get to be frustrated at the Eagles. It's great. It's so much more fun. So I would pass on this. I think we could probably find a better deal for you, to be honest. $10.
I concur. All right. Louis back. 3 wide receiver league. Lost neighbors and is desperate. If you had to pick 2, Jameson Williams, Romeo Doubs, Xavier Worthy, or Godwin. Well, we both don't think Godwin's playing, so that knocks him out. Then it comes.
Oh, Daniel is literally not asking us a question. Sorry to interrupt you. Daniel's not asking us. He's literally just recapping the conversation we were having on Discord.
Yeah.
Okay.
He has questions later. We'll get to those.
All right, do your thing there.
Okay, pick 2. Jameson Williams, Dobbs, Worthy, or Godwin. We're not playing Godwin.
But yeah, Godwin's not playing, so
and then
that's easy.
Lions are in bye. So, pow, got that one done easy.
Yeah, that's easy. Yeah, that one's easy.
Sorry, I was just like, God, we got this one done. You're going to play Dobbs and Worthy. However, if you're looking at the rest of the season,
to Smitty, all of us have bedtimes, okay? Mine is fast approaching. Mine is in 30 minutes. So get your questions in because I'm turning into a pumpkin in 30 minutes, folks. If I leave again, it's not Discord issues. I'm just going to bed. So just so you know, you got 30 minutes of my time left. Get them in. And we still got to get through the wheel and we got to get through the start sits. So quicker, faster.
All right.
Find another gear.
Yeah. Everhart asking PPR flex: Mooney, Bourne, Pacheco, Spears, or Ridley. So let's go there first.
Pacheco.
I agree. It's Pacheco on that list. However, available on the wire: Troy Franklin, Calvin Austin, Shepard, Booty, Pierce, Monangai. Still Pacheco. It's close with Franklin. For me.
Would you not just play Booty at this point? Coming off of a 20-plus game and then
another tough
13-point game in PPR? Like, would we not just do that? Because I'm not playing Mooney. I'm not playing Bourne. I don't want to play Spears, and I don't want to play Ridley. So there you go. So we get to Pacheco. Franklin is maddening, like, because you're trying to pick things out of a Sean Payton offense. So that historically goes poorly. Calvin Austin's a no. Shepard's a no. Pierce is a no. Monangai's a no.
The only reason I'm talking about Franklin is because the over/under for the Dallas Broncos game is 51.5.
I don't care about that as it relates to fantasy. Not that interested. For me, I'm going to make this simple. It comes down to either Booty or Pacheco, and I can tell you how I would deal with this. If I'm projected to win the game, it's Pacheco. If I'm projected to lose the game, it's Booty. Like I have a league this week, but I'm projected to lose by 10, right? In a redraft league I play in, it's like the only game I'm projected to lose in, I think, all week. Because I'm playing against this guy who's like just stacked. So in a game like that, I'm gonna play Booty because I need the upside. If I'm playing a weak opponent who's got like a 2-win team and they're all beat to hell, I'll probably play Pacheco because it's I know I'm gonna get something.
All right, down to Daniel Ward, PPR pick 2: Coleman, Brashard Smith, Spears, Franklin, Andrews.
Don't like my choices. In this case, it would be Franklin.
Okay, and I agree, it's Franklin, but
probably Coleman.
Yeah, that's kind of where it's either Coleman or Smith because I think Spears is broken and
I don't
Andrews
want to
has
play
likely coming back.
Spears, and I don't want to play Andrews either. So it's Franklin, and I'm gonna go Coleman.
Okay, I agree. I'm PPR. I always like to go wide receivers. So then you go Bourne, Chubb, or Gainwell.
Bourne. Ooh, no, wait, no, hang on, no, don't do that.
It really.
Hang on, I just realized what I said. No. We don't want to do that yet. There's too many people that might be coming back.
Yep. That makes it real iffy.
We gotta wait. We gotta see some practice reports.
Yeah, I think it might actually end up being Gainwell. But I don't.
Oh, really?
Well, it's not. Okay,
so I'll tell you here right now. On Wednesday, with the knowledge I have on Wednesday of who's playing for the 49ers, it's Bourne. But I got to go see who gets ruled out here, Daniel. I'm not making this decision on Wednesday, fortunately. My answer to you today is Bourne, but that answer, I reserve the right to change that answer as I see practice reports.
Yeah, I concur. Because it becomes very iffy if more people are coming back. All right. Half PPR, pick 2. Diggs, Stevenson, Wan'Dale, Booty. Wan'Dale and Diggs.
Wan'Dale and Diggs, I agree.
Even in half, we're still going Wan'Dale and Diggs.
Yeah, Wan'Dale and Diggs.
All right. PPR, 1 running back, 1 tight end, 2 flex. So we're picking 4 of Woody Marks, Spears, Harvey, Fannin, Ertz, Kincaid,
Harvey's your running back.
Marks,
I think. Do you want to play? Well, okay, because like Spears probably isn't playing. So
I agree.
Like,
I'm playing Marks. I'm going with the guy who has a job.
You're gonna play Marks, huh? Harvey has a job. It's not a good job. I'm playing Harvey, Daniel.
1 tight end. Gadsden, Kincaid, Moore, Booty. Gadsden, Kincaid.
Fannin.
Ertz.
You missed Fannin. It's Fannin, Ertz, Kincaid, Gadsden. He's got 4 tight ends for some reason.
Not sure Kincaid's playing. I would assume he's playing, but
I've got Fannin the highest because I don't know that Njoku's playing. So again, I am telling you on Wednesday that I'm going to play Fannin, but I reserve the right to change this based on practice reports because if Njoku's playing, then the answer will be Gadsden.
If Kincaid plays, it will be Kincaid, but then I'll go
that's also fair. Yeah, if Kincaid plays, it's Kincaid. That's a mess.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Why do you have 4 tight ends, Daniel?
I'm assuming
that doesn't even make
2 of them have to be on the what?
Doesn't even make. Maybe okay. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's what it is. Yeah, it'll be Kincaid. If I had to rank it, it's Kincaid, Fannin, Gadsden, Ertz. But because of practice report issues, we can't really answer that until later in the week.
Okay, then you get 2 flexes, including Moore and Booty. That same list.
Booty, and
DJ Moore.
Yeah. It's probably going to be those two.
I think I
I hate these running
agree.
backs. I cannot play these running backs. These running backs are too bad to deal with the upside.
They're definitely the low end. So, okay. Then you get one tight end and one flex. So Mooney, Hutchinson, Otten, Kincaid, Andrews. You're going to play Kincaid and Otten.
Yeah, it's those two. It literally, I hate recommending people play two tight ends, but that's what I would do.
Yeah.
You're really hoping Kincaid's playing for that question.
Yep. Because otherwise you get real deep real fast.
Yeah, it's going to get real ugly quickly. You're really hoping that Kincaid gets cleared for that one.
And then PPR, DK, or Dowdle.
DK. Come on. It's
Yeah,
DK.
Let's
not overreact. Let's not overreact to the most insane turn of luck I've ever seen in that Thursday night game where they literally took the ball out of his hands and it was ruled an interception. Like he had one play, DK. We're not even having this conversation. If DK doesn't get robbed out of 2 receptions by penalty and then literally has the ball stripped, and they called it a pick.
I'm telling you, man,
Like
they should
that was one of the most
wide receivers should get
things I've ever seen.
Pass interference yardage. Drives me insane.
No, I
know you don't
rule.
like it, but
I'll quit fantasy football if that rule goes in.
You don't get the
I'll
catch,
literally
but you get the yards.
I'll literally retire if they put that rule in. I will retire from this enterprise. I will not live in that reality.
Because had that person not been there, he would have caught it.
I will quit being a fantasy analyst. I will quit playing fantasy football, and I will probably quit watching football if that's how that gets legislated in the future. I will tender my resignation because that's a nightmare. That is let's give the old officiating old men more power over the game to figure out how. Yeah, okay, no, F that. I refuse to live in that reality. I'll go find something else to do with my time. Something less stressful, like street luge or bungee jumping or bear fighting or something.
I believe what you really want is skeleton. Pretty sure that's what it's called.
Oh, the skeleton bobsled?
Yeah, where you just go head first.
Oh God, I'm 6'2". That sounds like a bad plan for me. That seems like a short person's activity. That doesn't seem like a tall person's activity.
All right.
Last Daniel question. Rip it.
All right. PPR, Judkins, Dobbins, or Wandale?
Judkins.
Now
and forever.
Yeah, probably. Half PPR, Bourne, Njoku, Otten,
I can see the argument. Hold on. I could see if you want to pick Wandale, I understand. I could see the argument for Wandale.
In PPR, yeah. That's the only thing that would be close because
Judkins I'm playing Judkins, but I could understand the argument for Wandale in PPR.
Yeah, that's the one stipulation. That's why I was like, But yeah, Judkins looks really good. Continues to be the RB1 for that team. So, okay, half PPR. Bourne, Njoku, Otten, Pearsall, or Ridley?
Otten. That's the only one that I know is playing. Well, or has a Bourne is going to play, but I don't know who else. That's not about him. It's about everyone else. You know what I mean?
Is Henderson droppable?
Depends for what.
I think he needs a QB to fill in. Based on how this question is asked. So
with him, I never know because it could be unrelated.
I know. Tyrod Wentz, Dalton, Mariota.
As a general statement, no, but it depends for what.
Yeah. Depends on what you need.
Are we talking about that crazy league that lady was just talking about where Stevenson was on the waiver wire? Because then sure, 100%. Like, yeah.
Go get Stevenson.
But like in general, no. Like, I'm sorry, ma'am. I don't mean to call you crazy, but like your league is crazy because what the hell's even going on in there? What the hell's even going on over there? It doesn't even make sense. And then need a QB to fill in.
We're going to go Penix, right? We have to go Penix.
Yeah, Penix.
Okay.
Penix. It's not really close. It's not actually close. Like.
Okay, and Oh.
Tamara, I agree. If you're playing tight end premium, you can have 4 tight ends. But outside of that very narrow, we deal with a lot of leagues. I don't deal with that many tight end premium leagues. How do you get to play in all the fun, weird leagues with like 2 quarterbacks and dynasty and?
Because like, I don't even get invited to leagues anymore.
Most people are boring and they don't play in those leagues. Most people play in 10-team leagues and they ask us questions about who to pick up, and I'm like, oh my god, this is like for babies. Not to be rude,
fair.
but
It's not fair.
that's kind of how I view it. It's like, oh, this is like fantasy for babies. It doesn't start getting real until you start getting into 12-team and PPR, but she goes to the next level where she's playing in like 2 QB, like dynasty leagues, and I play in a few of those, and I'm like, man, those are great. Like those are so much more fun.
No, I still want to do a vampire. Like that's the one I really want to do that so bad.
I've done vampire and I've done guillotine. It's fun. It's not my favorite, but it's fun.
All right.
I like dynasty and I like 2 QB. Those are the variants that I really like.
Redraft. I like having one shot because I don't have to pay attention to what's going on for multiple years.
Everything you just said made me sad.
You know
all
that.
of that just made me sad.
I hate having contracts. I hate having to figure out what the heck is going on with my team week in, week out.
I love that. That's the whole reason I'm here. That's the whole reason I'm here, is to manage the team. It's my team, like, that I have control over. It's not some redraft league that I just throw away.
No, because I like working hard in those leagues.
No, I don't like disposability of it. I don't like that junk. It's junk.
All right. Well, Chad Corey coming in. Gadsden or Otten?
Oh, that's decent. That's interesting.
Yeah, that's pretty close.
That is pretty close. Where do I have Otten?
I think it's
still. No, I'll probably play Gadsden, I think.
Depends on what the scoring is. If it's PPR, I'm Otten.
A little bit. Yeah, a little bit. If it's PPR, it's Otten.
Otherwise, it's Gadsden.
Yeah,
that was going to be my stipulation on that one. So I'm like, I get to see it either way. It just kind of depends on what the scoring is. Chad.
Yeah. Oh, Tamara plays in a ladies' fantasy group where they do all kinds of fun leagues. That actually sounds fun.
I'm so jealous.
I can't imagine men are allowed to play. Yeah, like,
dang it,
because that would be the point. That would very much be the point of having a women's fantasy league is to have a space where men don't come in and run it.
I don't ruin anything. Except for like,
I'm not saying individually. I'm not talking about individuals. I'm talking about generally, like as a general.
I just ruin people's thought processes. That's what I'm really good at.
As a general thing, I could see why you wouldn't let the men come in, because then it would become, that would be the point, right?
Yeah.
It's because then it'll become yet another male dominated space, and like. That's got to be the underpinnings of it, right? Is like why you would have a women's fantasy group. No, it's really cool.
Yeah,
I bet that's actually really fun.
Yeah, you don't have a bunch of
what I was going to say is, given the women I know, especially in like the lady business things that I've been to in the past, the lady, like, because Jason and I have day jobs outside of this.
Whoa! Don't tell them.
The lady,
you can't go through the fourth wall here.
No. But like the ladies for business stuff that I've been a fly on the wall for, some of that is, those ladies are cutthroat.
Yeah,
those ladies are cutthroat, man. They're brutal, and I can only imagine in a ladies fantasy league. Yeah, I bet that's pretty competitive.
No, I'm laughing at Daniel here.
This is Doubtfire.
I'm gonna dress up.
I'll let Jason. Jason will do that. I'll help Jason get into drag.
I've done it before. I can do it again.
Jason lives in Kansas, so he'll probably get chased out of Kansas if he does that.
Yeah, my fraternity though in college, one of our things was we did a drag race.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, I can do this. But, of course, M. Gonzalez is getting kicked out of it. Danny Ward, yes. Need a QB, Phil. And sorry, Pookie Neal. It's a cursed league where my first 3 RB picks were Hampton, but
oh, that is cursed.
Yeah, bro. That's a rough one.
Oh, that is cursed. You might want to just bury. You might need to go bury your phone.
Do some kind of ritual.
You might need to like bury it and get a
What-
new phone.
What is the?
Just don't bury it in the pet cemetery.
What is that stupid? How do you like cleanse a house?
Sage. You burn
Sage. I was like,
sage.
what is the burn? I can't think of what it was. Yeah, go burn sage over your phone.
You burn sage over your
And your-
phone.
and
is
computer.
What that is. Yeah.
Okay, news.
That sounds really fun. Tamara's thing sounds really fun. Where they pick like every year they pick like different things to try.
I like that a lot.
Including IDP. That sounds really fun, actually.
Yeah, that sounds.
Like a
I would like
really
to.
fun
That's
league.
one league I really want to do too because I need to get more focus on IDP players. Guys, still get the random questions about it. Every
I
now
gave
and
up
then
on
one will pop
IDP
in.
once I gave up on IDP once our fans loudly told us that they don't care. Sorry, Nee, but it's true.
No, I still get almost one every week, and I'm just like, oh crap. I
Yeah,
actually
but
have
that's
to
one
go
a
and
week
look.
out of 1,000 questions. That
Yeah.
tells you what the proportion is.
I know, but it'd be fun to have a. I mean, I have a general idea because I look and watch where people are playing, and I watch football. So
I'm just talking about proportionally, though.
Yeah.
The percentage of people that care is tiny. All
Ugh.
right, so Daniel, we'll do your other 2 roster resolutions this week, and we'll get that knocked out for you. I'm looking forward to that, actually, because some of these have been interesting. You've had some
Really unlucky.
medium luck.
Yeah.
Well, it's like medium though, because some of it's been fine, but some of it is like I don't know what the hell happened here. Like it's, I guess when you play in like 8 leagues, you're bound to have like a
A couple that just go
proportion.
awry.
Yeah, a couple that just fail, like failure to launch, like do not happen.
Oh God.
I
Do you see Daniel's comment? Fun fact: Jason and Neil have government jobs. Jason works for Shield, and Neil works for the Thought Police.
that's fair. That's very fair.
Sounds about right.
I don't work for the government.
I kind of work for the government.
Tangentially.
Yeah, still counts. God, I'm just this. Tamara is just blowing me away with this stuff. Yeah, I mean that definitely happens. I'm curious of where you find your leagues. People just stopped inviting me, so now like my league. At one point I had like I think it was over 80 leagues that I was in, and now like people slowly started kicking me out. And now I'm down like a handful. So I'd like to have more, but it's tough.
I can't manage. I can't work all day, do this job, and then play in more than like 4 leagues a year. So I play in a mix of I play in a mix. So I play in some Dynasty and I play in some Redraft, and I mix it up every year, and I usually do like one crazy league where it's like a guillotine league or something like that. So I try to cast a wide net since I know I can only realistically manage like 4 teams and actually do it correctly. Otherwise, it's like, yeah, you could say you're in 10 leagues, but you only manage like 3 of them, right? And it's like that's not, to me, that's not like, that doesn't mean anything.
I had a spreadsheet. Shouldn't be any surprise with pivoting tables and
I couldn't do that even with spreadsheet help. It wouldn't.
well,
wouldn't
it also
matter.
like I'd get warnings that like things were coming up, so it'd show up in red, and I'd have to like go. I might have had a problem. Now that I think about it,
No. No. You're fine. You're
ask a homeless shaman to sacrifice my 17-year-old Build-A-Bear. Didn't work.
17-year-old Build-A-Bear's been open that long?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
What year is it?
That would have been 2008.
That's probably right.
Yep. Daniel buying another roster resolution. Thank you, Daniel.
Yeah, and Daniel, I saw. So, that little sidebar we're having about your roster resolutions. It seems like
You're moving in the right direction.
It's trending the right direction.
Yeah.
The deals in that one league that you asked I should say you paid for our opinion for is the most accurate way to describe that idea. Is that team? We saw some of those trades. You're slowly untying the knot that you're in, so that's good. So I think you're good. I think you're good, and then we'll see you this weekend for the 2 roster resolutions, and we're getting intimately. Jason and I are getting intimately acquainted with all of Daniel Ward's leagues because I feel like we will have seen them all by the time this is done. But yeah, we're slowly untying that knot, and then Jason, we have to move on. We have to start doing start sit of the week, sir. So
Okay.
we're gonna go quickly.
Well, this is also fun for Tamara though. Host a annual mid-season league, so they get to like just have fun with each other and watch football. That sounds like a great time.
Oh, that does sound.
I'm
that sounds
real
fun.
jealous of that too.
That sounds fun.
Okay, we'll do start sits of the week. Let me rewind that real quick. My bad. Quarterback. Who do you have, Neil? Very curious.
As the start of the week.
Yeah, we're going
but because there's like 6 teams on a bye, there's like not really good choices.
I picked a safe one.
With this, did you pick a safety?
Yeah.
Because for me, it's going to be Jackson Dart.
Yeah.
But it's like that's like cheating. So do we agree that Jackson Dart is the official important nonsense choice for start of the week?
Yeah, I really like him. He continues to show up and play really well, and the rushing doesn't hurt him at all.
Okay, so we agree it's Dart. Let's just put that off to the side. So it's Dart. I'll give you another one.
Michael Penix.
Because it's Michael Penix. So okay, good. So we're gonna move on.
Yeah,
so we're just gonna move on. It's Dart and then it's Penix and we're moving to sit. Go.
So this is going to be controversial. Daniel Jones versus Tennessee.
It's an interesting one because of the running.
Yeah. I mean, Tennessee has held 5 of the 7 quarterbacks outside the top 12 at the position. The only one to do it has been May and Jones did it the first time with 15.8 fantasy points.
Okay, so I agree. It is Daniel Jones this week if you have another option. So I'll pick a different one, which would actually be, and this is going to surprise people because of what you said about the spread, but it would be Dak Prescott. See, here's the thing that people don't understand about Denver. Got a lot of history watching this. Denver likes to play to the level of their opponent, and they did not prepare properly for that Giants game. They took the week off. They were screwing around. You could tell. It was obvious. And then they got shocked, and then they scored 33 points in the fourth quarter. See, they're not going to prep for Dallas like that. So if there was a secondary that could stop Dak, it's this secondary and this defense, which is the best defense in football, by the way. So it's not a good matchup on paper for Dak. And I think they're going to take this much more seriously. But that, I want to point out, that's not helpful. Because if you have Dak, you're probably playing Dak at this point. So it's not super helpful to a lot of leagues, which is why I didn't want to lead with it. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's just something that I noticed. I agree with you on the Daniel Jones thing, for the record. Let's go to running back.
Okay.
Running back.
I guess one other thing we need to preface. There are 6 teams on bye.
Yeah. We've covered that.
It's a big note. Because
it's ugly.
My start of the week is rough. Because I'm going to go Kyle Monangai versus the Ravens.
Oh, Lord. That's really rough. Okay, I didn't think you were going to go absolute crazy train.
I didn't want to be super simple, so I went deeper, and that's the first name that I was like, I could see this happening. I mean, if they do what they're trying to keep Swift healthy, right way to do that. Give more run to the young guy that you don't owe anything to. So,
yeah, I don't know if that's. We'll see. We'll see about that. I do have Kyle Monangai at 30, so I'm not totally out on it, but there are a few other names that I like more. I've got one that I'm going to go with, but it has to have an asterisk on it because he might not play. If Tyler Algier plays,
yeah,
I'm highly interested in playing Tyler Algier as my start of the week. But because he is questionable and he left last week's game early, we do have to have a backup plan for that. So the backup plan for that is Chuba Hubbard, because the Bills' defense, run defense specifically, has been terrible. Terrible. So that is my other choice. However, if Tyler Algier is playing, this would be the week.
Yeah, he scores almost every time he's at home.
And they're playing Miami.
Yeah. So, all right.
Who's the sit? Who's your sit?
Again,
a lot of bad choices here.
Yeah.
Because good luck.
I'm cheating. I'm going to sit Bill versus KC.
Yeah, you are cheating. That is the boo. 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 Coward. I'm also a coward, and I'm going to sit Alvin Kamara because he's been beat to hell. And he burned you last week, and he's questionable. He's like super questionable, and there's like a real chance that he goes into that game and takes like 2 hits, and they're just like, we're done. Go get it, Devin Neal. Whether or not that would work, we might find out. But I am very nervous about playing Kamara with the questionable tag. I know, and that's not a knock on Kamara. He wants to play.
Yeah,
Kamara has made it extremely explicitly clear that this is what he wants. He wants to play. He wants to play for the Saints, and if they trade him, that he'll retire. And he has no interest in not playing. Like, he wants to play. He is taking this very seriously. And by the way, what this is screaming loudly is Alvin Kamara getting ready to retire, folks. Enjoy it while you can, because what's the last year of Alvin Kamara's deal? Because it feels like that's probably the last one.
Yeah. Yep. Definitely not the most ideal situation. Sipping my. He said pina colada. That's what it was.
He did say pina colada specifically.
I immediately went to Mai Tais because that's more of what I would be drinking. Or what's that? Cool Breeze is another one they like to go with. I like the blue drinks more than the.
He has 1 more year left on his deal, by the way.
Yeah.
Because they voided the rest of it. So there you go. Enjoy what is probably almost certainly next year the final season of Alvin Kamara.
Yeah.
Gonna miss him. He's 30. It makes sense. He's getting to that. He'll be 31 next year. You know, these guys, and Alvin Kamara don't need the money, folks. So, like, he doesn't need that money. He's good. Also, Alvin Kamara, Hall of Fame or borderline Hall of Fame?
Oh, yeah, his issue, of course, comes to the fact that he played for the Saints.
Never won anything.
Yeah. That always hurts.
I know.
Does he have any records that are just like outstanding? I can't think of any. Maybe
he
PPR,
has
like a
he has
record, maybe
many like weird things like that. Like, but they're not like household records. Like, it's a conversation for the future because he's probably I would say he's playing next year anyway. Because they're gonna owe him $16 million. That's part of why I'm like, well, the Saints are probably stuck paying him on that because they're not just gonna eat the dead cap on that one. And
Miller tore his ACL.
He's already made it very clear that he will retire if he is traded. And there you go. Like, so it seems like that's just the way that's gonna end. Kamara's gonna get what he wants. He gets 1 more year, and he seems very happy living in Louisiana. Not my cup of tea, but
God, it's sweaty.
He likes it, so that's all that matters.
I guess humid. I shouldn't say sweaty, because sweaty is not what the temperature is. It's humid out. It's not sweaty out.
I'm good. They start playing that jazz music way too early in the morning for my liking.
Oh, yeah. I like me some jazz, though.
Start playing. It's not so much jazz music. It's the
level.
Not before noon. Not before noon. I don't want to hear it at 10 a.m.
That's fair.
And I certainly don't want to hear it at 8 a.m.
Well, you have to start drinking with the jazz music. That's how that works. No, it's like a direct correlation.
No, I'm going to be passed out on the beach by 2 o'clock. And then I'm going to be sunburned. It doesn't end well. None of that ends well.
Oh, man.
Wide receiver. Keep it moving. Wide receiver.
I'm cheating again. Xavier Legette versus the Bills.
Well, you just put no effort into this at all. this
I
week.
did though because of
My
Dalton.
colleague is phoning it in so aggressively. God, can you answer the phone? I can hear it ringing from over here.
Okay, fine. I'll give you a deeper cut. Jalen Lane versus the Chiefs.
Boy, you just have there's no
there's no in between, baby.
whatsoever.
You get one or the other.
That's okay. Okay, fair enough. Jalen Lane, by the way, will be rendered into obscurity if either Deebo Samuel or McLaurin play. Yeah, so
immediately.
That's all right. So I'll give you one. It's Tez Johnson.
Talking about phoning it in. He was on the edge.
That's not. No one knows who Tez Johnson is yet. We're still 2 weeks away from people understanding who Tez Johnson is in a real way. But no, Tez Johnson for real is the one because with Evans going down and Igbuka still being questionable, they're running out of bodies. And if you're looking for something a little bit lower down the list, I'll give you another one lower down the list. And this will make Tamara smile potentially, and it's rare. I recommend somebody coming off a 0. Keep an eye on Jaden Higgins.
Yep.
Because if Nico Collins doesn't play, I will be watching that game intently to see how they use Higgins, because
that's what they kind of got him for, was to be.
They drafted him, and they are not using him, and their passing attack looks like death again this year. And it's something's got to change with this, because they've spent way too much money for this to be this bad.
Well, the thing that also surprised me, they haven't said anything about Tank Dell.
Yeah, it's
did he
something
die?
is not right. Something is not right in Houston, and I don't know what it is. So if they shut down Nico, I want to see what Higgins looks like out there by himself. I want to see if he can actually be the wide receiver 1. Yeah, I want to see if he can do it, because he's never been asked. And I'll give you a third one. Bonus. Marvin Mims against Dallas. If there was ever a week to fire up the Mims.
Especially if Denver doesn't show up for the first half again.
I gave you a chalk pick, and then I gave you some real ones that don't involve going all the way to wide receiver 60.
Don't be a hater. I got 2 modes, baby. You know that.
What do you think my job is?
I get to bunt, or I get to go for the big swing.
You've known me for how many years? It's literally what my online persona is to be the fantasy hater. It's why they pay me.
All right, who's your sit?
Oh God, this is so hard this week because there's so many. There's just.
I have
this was a hard one.
So I'm just waiting for you to say one of them so I can cross it off.
Oh sure, it's Matthew Golden every week.
Yep, that was.
It's Matthew Golden forever. Matthew Golden from the womb to the tomb. I have others, but we'll start there.
I'm going to say Jerry Jeudy versus the Patriots.
That's a good one.
Same kind of spot. He's right there.
You can go ahead and just cut Jerry Jeudy as far as I'm concerned.
Well,
I'm good with that.
I'm assuming he's also going to see Gonzalez, and
probably
not going to go good for
Jerry Jeudy. Droppable, in my opinion. Help yourself. Feel free to drop him. Not interested. He's done nothing all year, and I'm not expecting that problem to fix itself. You want to know what I watch when I watch that team? And I've watched their last couple games. It's the Judkins experience, baby. That's what you want.
You know what you want?
And Fannin.
That too. But coming up, Tillman.
Maybe.
When he comes back, I'm
maybe. Not sold on that either.
Time to kind of look for a potential stash. Tillman.
Not sold on it. We'll see what happens. He wasn't doing that. He had a game and a half at the beginning of the year with a different quarterback. I'm not completely sold on this yet. I'm not convinced that there is any Cleveland wide receiver that I am interested in at this point. I am interested in their tight end ends, and their
running back.
Their running back. They are basically the Raiders. They are literally the East Coast Raiders with a better defense. Much better defense.
And maybe a better quarterback? Barely?
Maybe. We'll see. The jury's out on that. The jury's out on that. We'll see. The history, the fullness of time will answer that question for us. Other names receiving votes. Xavier Worthy, despite the good matchup. We covered that earlier in the show. Romeo Dobbs for all the same reasons as Matthew Golden. Except for I like a Golden more. I bench Golden harder. And then I had
Dobbs has actually been pretty surprisingly. I'm going to knock on wood while I say this, but Dobbs has been surprisingly consistent.
Yeah. To the extent that any of them are consistent. Yeah.
Which is why I knocked on wood, because that normally doesn't happen. It's usually,
so yeah,
you get a week. You get a week.
Yeah, those are my choices. Any other ones you want to mention before we
just because it's so iffy.
Move to the wheel.
However, Tamara did ask, do you think Tank Dell does come back someday?
Someday, yes. This year, obviously not.
Oh, you really don't think he's back this year? Okay.
I don't think he's coming back this year. I think by the time he comes back, it's like what? To come back to what end? When would you expect him to come back?
I don't know. The fact that I haven't heard anything is just surprising. Like, usually they give you some notes.
I removed him from my rest of season rankings. That is my answer to that comment.
So,
which means he does not clear 130 wide receivers. So that tells you the level of confidence that I have. I was able to rank 130 wide receivers rest of season that do not include Tank Dell. I do believe Tank Dell will be back. I just don't think it's this season. And with Tamara, you never know. That could be a dynasty question. So it's like...
Yeah. Like me. You might be stuck like me. Because I paid for Tank Dell pretty hard, and he's been out for 2 years pretty much.
I feel bad because I really Tamara, by the way, I practice what I preach. I roster Higgins in 2 different dynasty leagues, okay? He was my second round pick in 2 different dynasty leagues. And I've been sitting there like, come on, baby. And I don't think Higgins is like suddenly forgot how to play football, because you saw him catch the touchdown earlier. And it's like, where's this? Where's this play? Let's run this play. The play where we just have Higgins run forward and then you overthrow him by 3 yards and let him just run and get it, because that's literally the point of him, is that he's very straight line fast. The question was, could he learn to run routes? I don't know that I care if you're willing to give him the down the field stuff, but their passing attack is so horrible, which is not the receiver's fault. It's their O-line. So that's the issue for my money. What I've watched 5 Texans games this year, probably. And you want to know what I watch? I watch them snap the ball. The pocket immediately collapses. And Stroud either runs for his life or heaves the ball, and he either has to get it out immediately or he has to run. And I don't mean run forward. I mean like run away. And that was the same problem he was having last year. They haven't done enough. They haven't done enough to fix their offensive line. Do we agree on that, Jason? Because that's what I see. That's when I watch these games. It's consistent. Like, it's hike, oh God. And how many quarterbacks have we seen that just destroy their career? Like Justin Fields?
Joe Burrow.
Okay, I meant confidence.
Oh, my bad.
I guess by like a
Shots
literal
fired.
definition. You went for like the most literal definition possible of it, which I guess you're right. Like, but it hasn't ruined his career.
Yeah, yet.
It's ruined Fields' career.
That's fair.
And that's what I mean by that. Like, Burrow keeps getting contracts, and he'll be fine. Like, Joe Burrow is going to be the youngest ever analyst for ESPN or CBS or whatever at 30, because he just doesn't need the money anymore.
I thought that was going to be Andrew Luck, but yeah, that didn't.
Well, no, Andrew Luck doesn't need that money either, and I've seen what Andrew Luck doesn't need that career. He's way too smart for that career. He could do
whatever he
meaningful things. I've also seen what Andrew Luck's wife looks like, and then looked into what her backstory is, and then was like, oh, okay. So we're not short on any money here. We got plenty of money. So if you're Andrew Luck and you just want to do the Andrew Luck book club and hang out with your wife and her, I'm just gonna assume trust fund, because that's kind of what it looked like from the little bit of digging I did into that. And it's like he also comes from money, so it's like, why don't we just do the Andrew Luck book club and hang out with my wife at the vineyard? It doesn't suck to be Andrew Luck, okay? That's my big takeaway, was that, look, I acknowledge everybody's got their problems, but didn't look like it sucked to be Andrew Luck. So that's also why it's like, why would I risk a brain injury at a certain point? You know what I mean? Where it's like, why am I risking a brain injury or a brain injury for Jim Irsay? I don't need this. I also don't need your broadcasting job. I could just go be a goofy nerd and run the Andrew Luck book club and play Warhammer with my nerd friends and hang out with my wife. I've already won. I've won the lottery. I won the genetic lottery. Look at me go. I don't blame him at all for hanging it up when he did. I know a lot of people are like, how could you leave the team like that? And I'm like, I can tell you how. It works like this. I quit. Like, I know a lot of people that are like, that guy's, I know a lot of people that were like, that was an a-hole move. And I'm like, kinda, but I sort of get it. Anyway, let's not spend any more time discussing things that happened 8 years ago.
Sorry. That was still a big shock, though, when it happened.
Oh, it was.
It was news everywhere. But, okay. It's that time. Everybody's favorite time. We're going to go into tight end roulette.
Spin the wheel, place a bet. It's time again for tight end roulette.
Presented by Ballpark Franks. They plump when you cook them. Important concept is in no way affiliated with Mark Sanchez or Ballpark Franks.
They do indeed plump when you cook them. All right. I love when I get Neil to break just a little bit. I saw the smile.
It's more I was thinking about. I was every time I hear that now, what plays in my head is the stupid joke from a couple weeks ago about Ballpark Prison Franks. They plump in the shower. I mean, what? My audio cut out again, didn't it?
Yeah,
oh,
just
crap.
a little bit. All right. Here
this
we
is
go.
why I am not allowed, much like Gonzalez, to join things.
Inappropriate. Okay, we're going to spin a wheel. Here we go. Do. First one up. Oh, it's a winner. It's Cade Otton.
Yeah.
We like that one.
Cade Otton is my #1 streaming tight end because for some reason he's still only rostered in 42% of leagues on average across the major outlets.
Yeah, I don't know why. I
don't either, because he's coming off 3 double-digit games in a row, and now Mike Evans is done, and Godwin's already been ruled out. So fire up your Otton.
Yeah.
This week and possibly longer. We'll see what happens after the bye.
Yeah, I agree.
Number one streaming option, baby. Get it while you can.
Dun, da, da, da. Let's see. Next one up is another good one. Theo Johnson.
Number 2 streaming option of things that are still available. Except here's a fun fact.
4. Yeah.
Theo Johnson is rostered in 60% of leagues. You tell me. Tell me, Jason. You tell me how that's possible, because I don't understand it. I'm very confused by all of it, but there you go. The only note on that, he is my number 2 streaming option of the week. However, this is a terrible matchup for opposing tight ends.
Yeah.
Philly covers the tight end very well.
That's why I have him at 4 and not my 2.
Brutal matchup, but.
Well, it might be 3. I got to actually look at this list. Okay, we're talking about my 2. Dalton Schultz.
Dalton Schultz is an interesting 1-week rental.
Yep. We saw how it looked last week. They don't have anybody else to throw to, and if Collins is out,
Well, they
dude,
do have other people to throw to. They just refuse to do it.
correct. Because he's under
Frustrating.
pressure. This is
Yeah.
your short area target.
Yeah.
This guy.
Yep.
He will be the
So-
reason he doesn't die. So Dalton
It
Schultz.
is- It is a rental. It is very much a rental because if we know anything about Dalton Schultz, one, be prepared for when he inevitably screws you.
He's good at it.
A lot of history on that mountain, and also be prepared for when if they're going to ask him to do a big boy job for a long period of time that his knee gets obliterated.
Yeah.
I feel bad saying it, but
Definitely injury. Well,
injury prone is not a real thing, as we
I was-
know. However,
returning injury? No. Repetitive?
recurring.
Recurring. That's
And,
what I was like, it's something with an
and,
RE.
but the reason I bring it up is because already hurt and has historically been hurt. But it's the thing about it is injury prone means the same thing. This is always different things. It's his left knee or his right knee. In this case, it's his back and his shoulder he's already on the injury report with a back and a shoulder problem. So Dalton Schultz is, as I like to say, he is here for a good time, not a long time.
Yeah. That one's rough.
That's why I have him at 3, because he is a 1-week rental. Whereas Otten and Theo Johnson have potential repeat, maybe not long term, but potential repeat value.
All right. We'll move on to the next one. Yeah, this one's a pretty easy one. TJ Hawkinson.
Nope.
Yeah. Chargers are
Yeah,
actually
pass.
pretty good against the tight end. Because that's usually what Derwin James covers. So, nope. Hard pass. Now we've come to Jawan Johnson.
The problem with Jawan,
He's getting healthier.
he had a good game last week. He is getting healthier, but it's worth noting that he is still very questionable. He's going to play, as we've seen. Like, he's just going to play through it. But it's a neck injury. So at any given minute, that could get real bad real quick. So not a bad choice, but he's lower on my list than Otten and he is
Johnson.
down. He's underneath. So it's Otten,
Theo.
Johnson, Schultz,
Johnson.
and then we get to the Jawan Johnson.
All right. Next one up is gonna be Zach Ertz.
Yeah, I have Zach Ertz a little lower than normal.
Again, will be very dependent on who is playing in this game.
Yeah, I want to see. It might be a good option, but I really want practice reports for this. And also, I don't really view Zach Ertz as a streaming tight end anymore, because by rostership percentage and by ranking, he would not qualify this week because of the buys.
No.
So I don't really count that.
When I looked at him, he was outside the top 12, so I was just like,
He
okay.
is currently at 12.
Oh, okay.
It's the same reason why I don't count Hunter Henry.
The last one is Evan Ingram.
Okay, Evan Ingram is the most polarizing one for me because on the one hand, it's tempting against Dallas.
Yep.
So I get that. But this is the definition of playing with fire. Like, he's had a couple decent games, but I am just not sold on this yet at all. And like, the best case scenario, I feel like, is you get a 10.
Yeah.
So I'm very non-committal on this idea. I'd rather play Schultz. I'd rather play Otten.
And the Johnsons.
And then I'd rather play Theo Johnson. You could sway me against Jawan Johnson because of the neck injury. That's where it gets
Iffy.
yeah.
Okay. Well. with
We'll
that,
see about the Evan Ingram thing. Some people may be rewarded for their patience.
All right. Well, with that, we will close Tight End Roulette.
Spin the wheel, place a bet. It's time again for Tight End Roulette.
Presented by Ballpark Franks. They plump when you cook them. Important concept is in no way affiliated with Mark Sanchez or Ballpark Franks.
I will tell you what, man. I am always so hungry after seeing those. Seeing that every time, I'm like, I could use a hot dog.
Yeah, I just don't really want a ballpark.
Yeah.
Don't
always get
couple,
that choice.
Couple things before we're gonna get at it. Oh, I'd love an actual ballpark Frank from like a real stadium,
Oh,
but
yeah, yeah.
I don't really want a ballpark Frank from the store. Like,
Not
I prefer
the same.
I like the kosher beef ones better. The 100%
Yeah,
kosher
yeah.
dogs. They're just a better quality hot dog. That's a whole tangent that we don't have time for today. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna call out Daniel Eberhardt for the Giants are provocative. They get people going. I love that that reference is awesome.
No, I thought you
And
were
then
going to this next one. Man, what a mouthful.
No, but I like Daniel Ward's question though of 0 to 100%. How responsible is Jim Irsay's daughter for the turnaround? I'm gonna go with 20%. That's probably being generous.
I'm going to go with 40.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? I think it's a lot more than what's actually real.
I know, but I like, she's trying. And it makes me think of, did you watch what is called Rebound? It has the chick from, oh my gosh, she's supposed to be the LA Lakers owner.
Jeannie Buss
Yeah, Jeannie Buss.
is the real life person.
Yeah. I can't think of this show, but it was
I've never
pretty
seen
funny.
the movie. I've never seen the movie or whatever you're referencing. I'm not sure what you're referencing. I know who Jeannie Buss is. I know who the Lakers, the daughter of the guy who owned the Lakers, Jim Buss. No, it wasn't his name. It was Dr. something. It's Dr. something Buss.
Running Point.
Running Point. I've never seen that.
Yeah, so it's like a satire of it, pretty much.
Okay.
With Kate Hudson as the main character,
Oh, really?
and it's actually
Interesting.
it's pretty good.
I might have to check that out. That sounds interesting.
It's very humorous. It has Brenda Song as her like best friend in it, and so I found it very enjoyable.
I might have to check that out. That sounds like something I would like. I'm gonna go with 20%, Daniel. I don't think she's been there long enough to meaningfully impact like what they were gonna do. I think two things are responsible primarily. It's three things. And one of those things is Taylor staying healthy. Because what we've seen for years out of Daniel Jones is this pattern. When Daniel Jones has a running game, he will game manage you to a pretty good season. He's outside of that. But there's a reason that Daniel Jones got that contract the way that he did from the Giants. It's because for years, when Saquon got hurt and they had a bad O-line, he was terrible. But then when they would have a decent O-line and Saquon would stay healthy, they'd like win a bunch of games, and it would it invites that conversation about like, is Daniel Jones good? No, because he can't like win it by himself. But that gets into the idea of like, how valuable is a game managing quarterback? Well,
Can be pretty
that
valuable.
depends on-
We saw Brock Purdy do
that
it,
yeah, that depends on what you put around them. So it's like,
and he
that's
has good pieces around him.
that's what it is this year. Is the whole line's playing better. They've tweaked it a little bit and they're staying healthy. Taylor is healthy. And so in that circumstance, I'm not really surprised that Daniel Jones is competent. What I'm surprised by is that he's been better than competent. But we've seen this before. And the other side of it is they revamped their defense from last year. They fired some people, brought in some new blood, and they had a good young core last year before that core got hurt. Well, they're healthier this year. So that's the biggest thing about the Colts, is that they're actually healthy for a change. So that's That's the
And he has pretty good weapons outside of Taylor with
yeah. Pittman's also not dealing with a broken back, a broken hand, and what was the other injury he had last year? Because at one point he had his injury was Anthony Richardson was his quarterback. That's right. That was
Yeah.
my joke from last year. I need two of those things to not be the case, and there you go. His back's not broken. And they've been largely healthy. Oh, and also the Warren and
Yeah,
so the other
adding
thing is the
Tyler
Warren
Warren.
thing.
Yeah.
Adding Tyler Warren was like the missing piece because now you're not trying to get Mo Alley Cox to do this. It's freaking Warren. So it's like that has been it's the health thing. I can't stress enough like how important it is that the critical pieces have actually stayed healthy. So I don't really credit her as much as I credit like some of the other things that are going on around her. And yeah, Daniel, the Andrew Luck retiring early thing shattered a lot of people. I have never had a brisket hot dog.
But that sounds good.
It strikes me as something that would be available in Texas. And yeah, I would do that.
How do you
Daniel, I don't think they're gonna have those in Maryland, buddy.
Yeah.
I don't think that's gonna be how that works. I can't remember if Daniel lives in.
You should just get a lobster.
I can't remember if Daniel lives in Maryland or Massachusetts, but it was one of those two in the north. I know he lives in the Northeast.
Oh, Boston
Whereas-
cream. That
Yeah, whereas Tamara lives in. I know she's mentioned this before. She lives in Texas, and it's like brisket hot dog sounds pretty good. I'd check that out.
I'm trying to think what Daniel. If he lives in the Northeast, if it's Massachusetts, I can't think of outside of Boston cream. I can't think of anything that's like truly food wise Massachusetts based.
It was one of the two. It was one of the M's. I remember that from previous conversations with him about that. I can't remember if it was Maryland or Massachusetts, but yeah, if he lives in Maryland, well then obviously you get a lobster roll.
Or bay crabs. That's
Sure, that too. Yeah.
that's some. Oh, God, that sounds good.
And if you live in Massachusetts, yeah, it's donuts. Whether it's Boston cream or Dunkin' Donuts,
Everywhere.
yeah, that's also seafood there too. It's conducive to it.
Yeah, super jealous. Stupid.
Because yeah,
landlocked state.
Tamara gets all the brisket stuff. I've never had a brisket hot dog, but I can't say I'm surprised because that's also where you can get brisket tacos.
Yeah.
Yeah, brisket tacos was pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, that just sounds like brisket. Like it's just brisket everything. And I was like, no, they actually like changed the seasoning on it. It was pretty good. I was pretty impressed. I would eat those again. From when I was down there. So, all right, folks, we're getting out of here. We got to go. I'm turning into a pumpkin. I got to be at work at 6 a.m. So, and Jason, I know, has a very long day as well. So we already kind of talked about it beforehand. We got to cut this off. So I'm going to count you down. You get a couple. And yes, Daniel, I think Eberhard, I think that was the Culver's conversation. Because a lot of people are like, what's Culver's? And I'm like, oh, yeah.
Not everybody lives in the
Basically-
Midwest.
It's basically Freddy's. It's the same exact thing almost. It's almost exactly a Freddy's. Yep. So we're going to count it down. You get 10 seconds.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Have a good night.
Keep up the nonsense.